One of these mornings won't be very long. You will look for me and I'll be gone. I'm going to a place where I'll have nothing to do but just walk around heaven all day. When I get to heaven, I'm gonna sing and shout. Nobody will be able to put me out. My mother will be waiting, and my father and my sister Kathalina too. And we'll just join hands together and just walk around heaven all day. Oh Lord, up above, can't you hear me praying? Walk right by my side. Hold my hand when my way gets so cloudy. 'Cause I just need you to be my guide. And every day will be Sunday. The Sabbath will have no end. We'll do nothing but sing and praise God's name. And when he says, Bernard, well done, then I know that my race will be won. And I'll just walk around heaven all day. Oh Lord, up above, can't you hear me praying? Walk right by my side. Hold my hand when my way gets so cloudy. 'Cause I just need you to be my guide. And every day will be Sunday, my Lord. Sabbath won't have an end. We'll do nothing but sing and praise his name. And when he says, Bernard, well done, I know my race will be won. And I'll just walk around heaven all day. I'll just walk around heaven all day. Please join me in prayer. God, this morning, as your written word becomes a spoken word, may it be a living word for us all. Amen. When my son Michael was in elementary school, he was given an assignment to interview his grandmother. Michael spent time asking my mother a variety of questions about her life, like where was she born, what life was like way back then in the old days, who was president, he asked when she was born. But it was my mom's answer to Michael's last question that left Michael puzzled for a very long time. Michael asked Grandma, "Grandma, are you afraid to die?" And my mother answered Michael, "Of course I'm not afraid to die, because I've lived the life God created for me to live. And I'm not afraid to die," she said, "because I came to die. I came to die." Most of us are afraid to die because we haven't been able to answer life's ultimate question, why am I here? Well, I don't mean here in this place this morning, but here occupying God's space. In 1988, Life magazine asked scientists, theologians, authors, artists, actors, and everyday street sages life's ultimate question, why are we here? I'd like to share a few of their responses. Actor Leonard Nimoy, whom most of us know as Spock from Star Trek, answered this way. He said, "The question, why are we here, is a typically human question, and therefore is completely illogical." Spock says the more logical question would be, what are we doing here? Rabbi Harold Kushner, the author of When Bad Things Happen to Good People, answered this way. We are here to change the world and to finish God's work here on earth. Kushner says God could have created a plant that would grow loaves of bread, but instead God created wheat for us to mill and bake into bread. Why, he said, so that we could be partners with God in completing the work of creation. Writer Annie Dillard answered by saying, the Old Testament book of the prophet Micah answers the question of why are we here with another question. The prophet Micah asks us, what does the Lord require of us but to do justice, love mercy, and to walk humbly before God? And then New York City taxi driver Jose Martinez responded by saying, I drive a cab, I do some fishing, I take my girl out, I pay my taxes, do a little reading, and then prepare to drop dead. That's the end of the show, he said. That's all there is, that's all there is nothing more. It is life's ultimate question. Why are we here? What is our purpose in being here? And this morning we get a clue in our gospel readings as Jesus makes his final journey to Jerusalem. Because Jesus is headed to Jerusalem with a real sense of purpose. And because Jesus was clear about his purpose in life, Jesus made a real difference in our lives and in our world. And Jesus is going to Jerusalem fully aware that it is going to cost him his life. And yet fully aware that that was his purpose for coming into the world. And Jesus is eager to make this journey to Jerusalem, even though Jesus knows he is going to die there. And why? Why is he willing to make this journey to certain death in Jerusalem? Because Jesus understood his purpose in life, his reason for being. And Jesus knew that if he did not fulfill his purpose, well, he wouldn't have much of a life at all. And if you think about it for just a moment, the same holds true for you and me. There's a reason why we are here. Our lives are not an accident of birth, though some parents might disagree. Our lives are an investment, a divine investment in us. God made each of us so carefully and so wonderfully, and God had a reason for doing that. And if we never discover that reason, well, our lives just might end up meaningless. In one of my favorite movies, City Slickers, with Billy Crystal and Jack Palance, three middle-aged guys decide to work out their midlife crises by going to a dude ranch. And they're introduced to an old cowboy played by Jack Palance. Palance says to those three city slickers at one point, "You guys are all the same. You come out here every summer at about the same age with the same problems. You spend 50 weeks of the year getting knots in your ropes, and then you think that in 2 weeks' time, you can untie those knots." And then Jack Palance poses life's ultimate question to those three city slickers. Palance asks, "Do you know why you are here?" Billy Crystal says, "No, tell us." Palance lifts one finger and says, "For this." And Billy Crystal says, "For your finger?" And Palance says, "No, you are here for one thing. Just one thing." "One thing?" Billy Crystal asks. "Okay, but what is that one thing?" And Palance laughs and says, "That's what you're here to figure out." Just one thing. What is that one thing we are here to figure out? What is the one thing that gives purpose and meaning to our lives, and that unless we figure that one thing out, makes our lives mean less? And Jesus gives us a clue when he makes this final journey to Jerusalem, because Jesus journeys to Jerusalem with a real sense of purpose. And because Jesus understood his purpose in life, Jesus made a real difference in our lives and in our world. And even though Jesus knows full well that he is going to die in Jerusalem, Jesus makes that journey anyway. Why? Why make the journey? And the only answer can be because Jesus understood his one thing. That's what he came to do. And that's what he was sent to do, to give his life for us. You know, the prophet Jeremiah says that even before we were formed in our mother's womb, that God knew us. Which means we are not here by accident, no. We are here because God has called us and created us for this life. We are here because we are a divine investment, and each of us are divinely unique in who we are and what we've been created and called to do by God. And I believe God had a reason for why we were created to be. And if we never discover that one thing, well, some of you have heard me say the only judgment question is going to be, what did you do with the gift of life God gave you? And if your best response is, God, I lived the life you gave me in fear, afraid to make waves, afraid to make a difference, well, if that's your best answer, then you will have been a poor return on the divine investment that God made in giving you the gift of life. Now, I recognize it isn't easy to find that one thing. I love the Peanut cartoon strip where Charlie Brown goes to see Lucy. And Lucy has her booth with a sign that says, psychiatrist, 5 cents. Charlie Brown pays her the 5-cent fee and then says, Lucy, I don't feel a sense of purpose in my life. And Lucy looks at Charlie Brown and says, that's okay, Charlie Brown. It's like being on a really big ocean liner, right out there in the middle of the ocean. Some people put their deck chairs to face the front of the ship. Others put their deck chairs facing the back of the ship. So the real question, Charlie Brown, is which way do you face? And Charlie Brown stands there with an absolutely blank and bewildered expression on his face and finally says, Lucy, I can't even get my deck chair unfolded. It's easy to feel disconcerted when we aren't certain we know what that one thing is, when we are unsure of why we're here and what our purpose in life is meant to be. But if you don't know it today, you still have time to discover it. Are you pleased with the way your life is going? Are you pleased with the legacy you've created or are creating? Are you content with how you will be remembered? If not, do something about it today. I'm reminded of the very successful attorney who tells about the greatest Christmas gift he ever received. He says he was just a kid when he saw a box under the Christmas tree with his name on it. The box was from his dad. He said the box was so light about the weight of the box itself until he couldn't imagine what might be inside. When Christmas Day arrived and he finally opened the box, he found a note, a simple note that said, "My dear son, this year I'm giving you 365 hours of my time and my undivided attention. 1 hour every single day right after dinner is yours. We can talk about anything you want. We can go wherever you want. We can play whatever. It's your hour." The attorney said his dad not only kept his word, but renewed that gift every year. And that even though his dad is now long gone, the gift is even more precious now than when he received it. His dad had found that one thing that gave his life purpose and made life more meaningful for someone else. Today, Jesus begins his final journey to Jerusalem. It is what he came to do. What about you this morning? Why are you here? What did you come to do? More importantly, what did God send you here to do? I hope you will always remember that God's gift of life is not a dress rehearsal. I hope and pray that you will always know that you are here as a divine investment and that you will give God a good return